What's up, gamer people? It's your boy Petras85, and in today's Destiny 2 video, we'll be talking about IGN's first look of exploring Nessus, lost sectors, and public events. I'm just gonna go ahead and give you guys the rundown of everything that he talked about, or the main points that stood out to me. So let's go ahead and get started. They started off by talking about public events. That's right, guys, public events will be back in Destiny 2, and they started saying that it would be located in different areas. So they didn't want it to be like Destiny 1 where you knew where the public event was at and you can just go to that destination every single time. So this time in Destiny 2 it would be in different locations, and they've been reimagined so the gameplay and the difficulty will be different every single time. And they say they wanted to make it feel like sort of like the Court of Oryx in Destiny 1 when everybody gets together and play. You know, it'd be a different gameplay and difficulty. And they also said that each public event can be changed into a heroic public event, which is a harder version of the event with more enemies, bonus objectives, named bosses, which will give you bonus rewards. Then they moved on to something called the adventures, which are small little side quests which they expand on the storyline on what's going on or the backstory of a character or why the enemies are attacking that area. They are short missions and they have no loading screens, so they won't take you out. Whatever you guys are doing, you'll be able to just go ahead and finish that storyline, find out whatever storyline's going on, or if you guys were interested in that storyline or what's going on, and still be on that same destination to continue on where you were there for to begin with. Then they moved on to the topic that I really wanted to hear, which was lost sectors. And of course, they said they started off by saying that you will have to find the symbol first in order to find out if there's an actual cave near you for you to find this lost sector. And they said they're going to be hidden caves. Some of these are going to be harder to find than others, and each one of these caves will have an encounter. Depending on what cave you find, it could be a large or a small encounter depending on wherever you're at in the map. And each one is going to have a boss to face at the end of it, which they said that the chest won't appear until the boss is killed. Then they moved on to another event called World Quest, which these are mini quests. They tell a more larger, interesting story about the destination, and they did emphasize that these quests won't show up until the main campaign is completed, to give you trying to put more of the grimoire into the game, which I'm really digging that they did this. And the other thing that was really curious that they asked about was the landing zones. They did ask if they're going to be all unlocked for you just to travel to that destination, or where you have to unlock them. And they did say that you will have to unlock each landing destination as you move on through the game. It says you will be unlocking them by doing just the storyline, public events, or quests. But they said to be careful, because even though they do want you to explore this whole map that they build, that some areas are higher difficulty, but you will die a lot if you just try to go and try to open all the landing zones straight in the beginning of the game. Then they moved on to a new event called Flashpoints, which is a weekly public event activity, and they said that they wanted to make this sort of like the Nightfall for players to come back every week to do. And each week Bungie will be choosing a destination which you have to go and clear all the public events in that location. And each time you complete it, of course, you will get a reward for doing it. But at the same time you're doing that, Cage 6 will be selling treasure maps for players to find during the Flashpoint destination. And those treasure maps will only be around the area of that Flashpoint during that weekly activity. And there'll be hidden bosses that will only show up during the heroic Flashpoint activity, which they also cleared to mention that each of these bosses will drop extra rewards if defeated, which I think is pretty incredible. Especially they really wanted to do this since they said they had a lot of the fan base leave. They were still fans of Destiny, but they just didn't have nothing to do anymore. So hopefully adding this will keep players coming back every week. And I'm really liking how they're putting all these events to make players come back every single week. My only question is this going to be enough to keep those like hardcore players or the aka sweaties that try to get every single piece of armor and weaponry as fast as possible? Like, is Cade going to be selling all the maps for that destination in week 1? And if you don't complete it, you know, you have to wait until that destination comes back again, because the hardcore sweaties will probably be able to do that all in the first round. So I'm wondering how they're going to balance that. And of course, we haven't heard any of the information about the raid, which is still great. So hopefully you guys like this video, like and subscribe. If you guys are new to my channel, welcome, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Deuce.